You pick Meta Vibes because it's free, post the clip, and then a client asks for the 30-second version, and you realize Seedance 2.5 was the tool you actually needed. Seedance 2.5 is built for cinematic output. Meta Vibes is built for speed and social. And the question is, which one fits your actual job right now? Alright, so test 1 is cost, and you've probably already asked this. What does it actually run you to generate a 30-second clip with Seedance 2.5? Because if you can't get a straight answer on price before you commit, you're basically pulling a lever on a slot machine. Meta Vibes has a clean answer right now. Seedance 2.5 doesn't, and that matters a lot. One of the biggest problems I run into when using AI agents is turning their output into YouTube content I can actually use to market my product. That's why this video is sponsored by Subscriber, a tool that helps business owners connect their AI agents to YouTube and market their products without spending 10 hours every week creating content. You can connect Claude or ChatGPT directly to Subscriber. It then analyzes your business, website, and YouTube channel to help you create SEO-optimized video ideas, scripts, thumbnails, and even complete videos that actually match your brand. What I like most is that every week, Subscriber gives me a list of high-potential video ideas I can immediately execute, and it can even help edit videos for me, with or without my face, including videos like the one you're watching right now. It's easy to get started, and you can try Subscriber for free using the link in the description below. Now back to the video. I looked at every number out there, and Meta Vibes is free today, with a freemium model planned, so the basic tier stays free. Seedance 2.5 has no official price from ByteDance yet, but community leaks put per second API costs somewhere between 0.04 and 0.353, depending on tier, and a Dreamana subscription running $15 to $70 a month, so treat those as directional, not official. Meta Vibes takes cost, and it's not subtle because free beats unannounced every single time. I expected Seedance 2.5 to at least have a published price by now, but it doesn't, so Meta Vibes goes up 1-0 on the scoreboard, and that's a real barrier for anyone trying to budget a project today. I've been deep in these AI video tools long enough to know that a missing price sheet costs you more than the tool itself, so drop a comment if the pricing black box has burned you too. Okay, so test 2 is coding benchmark performance, and I know the first thing you're thinking, why is this even in a video tool comparison? That's a fair objection, and if you've ever seen a benchmark chart thrown into a review just to pad the scorecard, you know how annoying that is. So let's just be upfront about what the data actually says before we waste any time on it. I looked for coding benchmarks on both sides, and there's nothing to find, because neither Seedance 2.5 nor Meta Vibes is a coding model. Seedance 2.5's benchmarks target language understanding and audio generation. Meta Vibes is a social video tool, and applying a coding lens here would be like judging a camera on its word count, so this dimension just doesn't apply to either product. No score changes here. Neither tool applies to this dimension at all. So the tally stays Meta Vibes 1, Seedance 2.5 0, and we're moving on with this category skipped entirely. Now, test 3 is speed, and the objection I keep seeing is that people assume because Seedance 2.5 is the more powerful tool, it must also be fast enough to keep up with a social workflow. But speed and power aren't the same thing, and if you're trying to turn around content the same day a trend hits, the gap between seconds and minutes is your whole window. Look at the actual claims side by side. Meta Vibes is explicitly built to turn a text prompt into a shareable clip in seconds, and that's from press coverage, not marketing copy. Seedance 2.5's near real-time generation is community reported, and ByteDance hasn't confirmed it. So you're going on word of mouth there, though the directional signal is still pretty clear. Meta Vibes takes speed because its fast clip design is confirmed, and Seedance 2.5's speed claims are still community reports. And that puts Meta Vibes up 2-0, so Seedance 2.5 needs to close that gap fast and the test's still ahead. So the score is 2-0 right now, but we haven't touched output limits or deployment yet. And those two dimensions are where the whole cost versus capability trade-off either holds up or completely falls apart. So if you're doing anything beyond a quick social clip, the next test could flip your decision entirely. Test 4 is context and output limits, and the number that matters here is 30, as in 30 seconds of native single-shot video. If your job requires anything longer than a 10-second clip, or you need to feed in multiple reference images, and audio files at once. The ceiling of the tool you pick determines whether you finish the project, or end up stitching together a workaround at the last minute. I ran the specs twice because the gap is pretty wide. Seedance 2.5 outputs 30-second native clips, which is 3 times longer than MetaVibe's 10-second cap. It takes up to 50 multimodal references. That's 30 images, 10 videos, and 10 audio clips in a single generation, and it tops out at 4K resolution, while MetaVibes has no published spec on resolution or reference inputs at all. Seedance 2.5 wins output limits cleanly because 30 seconds, 50 references, and 4K puts it in a completely different production tier from a 10-second social clip tool. And that brings the score to MetaVibes 2, Seedance 2.51, where the ROI math on Seedance's higher cost starts making a lot more sense if your deliverable lives on a screen bigger than a phone. Test 5 is deployment and modality, and the objection I hear most is that people assume the more advanced tool is harder to actually get into. If you're a developer who needs an API or you want to feed in a reference video instead of just typing a prompt, the input modes a tool supports can completely change what you're able to ship and how fast you can ship it. When I mapped out the access options, here's what I found. Seedance 2.5 supports text to video, image to video, and reference to video inputs. And developers get a real API through Volcano Engine. MetaVibes runs on text prompts primarily and has no public API. But the catch is that Seedance 2.5 is still rolling out globally through July 2026, while MetaVibes is live in the Meta AI app and on the web right now. Seedance 2.5 takes deployment on modality depth and API access, even though MetaVibes wins on raw availability today, and that ties the score tests at 2 each, so now the decision really does come down to what your job actually requires. Seedance 2.5 wins on every production spec. You get 30-second native single-shot clips, which is 3 times longer than MetaVibes. You get 50 multimodal references, so 30 images, 10 videos, and 10 audio files in one generation. You get 4K output for work that needs to look good on a big screen, and developers get a real API through Volcano Engine to build with. MetaVibes wins on access and speed. It's free right now, no subscription, no waitlist, no pricing ambiguity. You open the Meta AI app or go to meta.ai and you're generating clips in seconds. And it's been live in Europe since November 2025, so it's not even new. If your job is fast social content and you need it today, MetaVibes is the only one of these 2 tools you can actually use. If you need cinematic quality, 30-second clips, and real creative control, Seedance 2.5 is worth the wait. But if you need a shareable video today for free, MetaVibes is the only answer. The decisive thing is this: free and available right now beats unannounced and rolling out every single time, unless your job literally cannot fit inside 10 seconds. One thing that didn't fit the formal test: MetaVibes has no published spec on audio quality or voice character depth, and user sentiment is pretty consistent that AI audio is the giveaway. Voices lack depth and the acting cadence feels robotic. So if your clip needs convincing voiceover, neither tool has solved that. But MetaVibes has no published audio benchmark at all to even evaluate against. If the output quality question is still bugging you, I went deep on another model that's in the same conversation right now, so check out Claude Sonnet 85 should you use it. It's right there in the cards, and it answers a lot of the same capability versus cost questions we just ran through here.